Okay, good morning everyone. It's a Monday morning in the latter part of May 2024. I'm Kelly Renee, you're on Sharing Our Shine, and I am doing a WIP Wonder. I am working on Barn Babies. I started this in early February. It's been on my table for quite a while, and as you can see, I've made quite a bit of progress over time. I've not shared this canvas on camera since I started it, so I thought I'd take a minute to show you the completed part of the canvas. And as you can see, as I kind of pan the camera a little bit this way, I am working in this area here. I just did this chick and I moved this way and I'm right in this area, but I think I'm actually going to work down here or probably over here. Let me see if I can move the camera a little bit here. Yeah, I'm going to refocus this camera as I go ahead and cut this part away and get to the actual WIP and Chat or WIP and Wonder as it's called on my channel. But I wanted to share with you the progress I've made to date. This is a Dreamer Designs canvas, and again, I've been working on it for some time. I've had other things to do and really haven't gotten back to it. So this is where it is so far. When Cece from Texas and I did the reveal and react on this canvas, we did have a huge problem. Let me turn the light on the board and maybe you can see it a little bit better. We did have a huge problem with the skin tone that was selected for her face and her skin. We thought it was too orangey, but as you can see, it really looks lovely. I'm very happy with it. So I'm going to refocus this camera. Let me go ahead and pan over it once more, just tilting my camera so you can see the whole thing here as best as I can get it. And I'm going to be working in this area, so I'm going to refocus the camera and get to my drill pack and kind of talk about some of the things. I don't think they're unique to me at all, but it's just the way that I choose to work on canvases. I do have this section here to finish. I am hoping to be finished with this canvas excuse me, in the next couple of weeks, and then I will move my Chuck Penson canvas on my A1 light board. This is a very large light board. It's an A1 size. It's about $120 on Amazon, and it consumes this entire painting with some room to spare over there. Maybe about 4 inches left. This is a 60 by 70 canvas. I really hesitated in investing in this light pad because it was so expensive. But I gotta tell you, I'm so glad to have it. I have a lot of premiums. If you're new to my channel, you may not know that about my diamond painting journey, but it started with premiums only since 2019 when I started diamond painting. I started like everybody else, and I went to Amazon and bought a few kits and really enjoyed the hobby and really found the premium world, which is where I stayed for most of the last 5 years. It's only since December of 2023 that I discovered the budget community, and boy was I missing out. So I spend more time in the budget world now than I do premiums, but in the meantime, since 2019, I probably have 140, probably more than that, of premium diamond paintings. So I have a lot of 50 by 70, 60 by 80 and larger diamond paintings. So I really thought I would get my money's worth in having a light pad this large, rather than moving a smaller light pad all over the place all the time, because I have a limited amount of space to really enjoy this hobby. So it does consume my desk and my working space for the most part. I do have ancillary things over here, and I've got my kitting up station over there elevated, and I may show that video for the new subscribers that may not have seen my kitting up station. I have a small video that I could share during this WIP Wonder session. If you're new to my channel and have not seen any of my WIP Wonders, they are the traditional WIP chats that are enjoyed throughout the diamond painting YouTube community. I call them WIP Wonders because I wonder about stuff and I ask questions during my WIP, and it's just unique to me. I call them WIP Wonders, but they are in essence WIP chats. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this video, refocus it into the area where I'm going to be working, kind of zoom in a little bit, and we'll get started. I don't know how long this will be or how short it will be. I have a limited amount of time this morning, but I did kind of get motivated to finish this canvas and replace it with the Chuck Penson Memory Lane canvas that I started during a Chuck Penson along, or Chuck along, with another channel. It was my first entry, and I enjoyed the opportunity to post my progress, which I didn't make that much progress. It's like a 30 by 43 size of that canvas that I actually completed. So let me go ahead and pause this video and focus in on this area, and we'll rejoin shortly. Okay, let's get started. I will be doing this in multiple sessions, and just because I haven't done this a while, this is a Dreamer Designs canvas. It's called Barn Babies. I started it back in February. And what you're looking at on my canvas, you're seeing these black lines. Let me make sure that camera is in the right position. Okay, it is. And I'm using it, I don't use washi tape any longer to section out my canvas. I'm using an alcohol marker. Now, and I basically draw out where I'm going to cut before I cut it on the plastic itself, and then I use my cutter to cut out the section. Not all plastic on our diamond paintings will accept an alcohol marker. Sometimes when you use an alcohol marker on some plastic, it just beads up and you don't get the markings. In that case, I use my crayon. This is a Woody, and I'm hoping that it's going to be in focus at some point. Let me move my light up a little bit here. This is a Woody Stabilo pencil, and I get them from Amazon. And when the marker doesn't work, I use this black Woody pencil to mark off my section before I cut it. So I'm either using an alcohol marker, and I just use black because why not? And if I'm not using, this is one I just got from Hobby Lobby, or my Stabilo pencil. One of these two things will mark on the plastic. So that is what you are seeing on my canvas. Okay? And I'm looking for something. I feel naked without at least one ring on. So I'm going to have to do that. Okay. Now I'm dressed. Hee hee. Okay. So that's what you're seeing on here. The washi tape was driving me bananas. It just comes loose. It gets in my way. So I started doing something else. I know that Diamond Art Club now has the new perforated plastic. Well, you don't have to mark at all. You just cut off a section. That will never work for me because I section the way I want to section. I don't want to do it in 4-inch squares necessarily. So having them pre-measured into 4-inch squares is just not going to work for me. But I'm glad they have it because it will work for some people. And what I'm going to do, again, I'm hoping, it's been a while since I've done a WIP Wonder. I really should do more of them. Oops. Let me just go ahead. And I do use a ceramic knife. This is the Slice model or brand of ceramic knives. I cut through there, you know, using proper tension in the hopes not to cut the canvas, which I have done. Okay, so that just pulls off, and I have my plastic here. That just gets tossed. And I don't use release papers. I use my cooking parchment or my decorator parchment or printed parchment that you can get from Amazon or other sites depending upon what your preference is. I have several books of printed and I decorate them. They're either pre-decorated or I do parchment work. I'll do something simple parchment work just to make the parchment a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. You can see a butterfly there, and you can see a butterfly there that I etched into the parchment, and that is just a rub-on. I think that's just a rub-on. So I decorate my plastic. I know people that use release papers can find decorated release papers everywhere, but when you're a parchment user, it's much harder to find. As you can see, it sticks. It sticks more fully than your regular cooking parchment paper, which is what, you know, parchment people are used to. I put my washi tape sometimes on the parchment paper using a glue stick, just to hold my lines or to, you know, to kind of keep my eye on a certain area. So I use regular cooking parchment or my decorator parchment. Okay, so now that I have that cut, I'm just going to give myself a little section to work with. Now, I could remove this and just use your kitchen parchment with washi tape on it. They kind of focus my eye right about there. And I use this for, you know, larger sections. I am going to be using my diamond painting pen that I got from Etsy, Kevin's diamond painting pens. I really like his pens. This is just fun to use. It's nice and thick the way I like it. I don't match pens to canvases. That's not something that's necessary for me. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to do this section here, or focus in on a number on this section here. I think that'll work for me. And I want to grab something else that is nearby. Oh, and the discs that you see on my work area. And if you're not too new to my channel, you know that I use these jar opening placement. You know, you do like that and you can open a jar, you can get a good grip on it. I use those to keep my tray from slipping or my pen from rolling too much. It just kind of gives me a surface, and I love these things. So I think I'm gonna go with what symbol? Let's see here. I guess I'll go ahead and go with 3. I know where it is. On my kitting up station. And let me see, I'll have to check. Maybe you'll have to go back. My kitting up station, I don't have a picture to share with you at the moment or at the ready. Oh, again, if you're new to my channel, I generally do this. I don't do it in all my trays. I do have quite a tray collection. But a piece of washi tape at the edge of the tray, it allows me to kind of sort my drills, get them all aligned, and they don't go below that tape. As you can see, it's all lined. I think I have clear tape underneath here and a piece of washi tape on top of the clear tape. And it lines it up very, very nicely. And it's easy if you're a multi-placer to get to the edge instead of having to fight the edge of the tray trying to get a good handle on that. So that's what you see there. So I am going with 3. Now, let's see, where are we? Okay. I do have a 6-placer. I think it's a 6-placer. And again, if you're new to my channel, first of all, welcome. And I am a multi-placer. And I do use tape. I do not use glue. Now, I have transitioned over to glue dots from wax. I can use both. But I've been working with wax for just a few months. I'm sorry, not wax. Glue dots for just a few months. And just to give it a try. I tried it when it first became popular, and I really couldn't get a handle on it. It just did not work for me. And just like wax is not created equal, and double-sided tape is not created equal, you have to find the glue dots that work for you. I am a taper on my multi-placer. I have a particular tape that I use. I've tried many double-sided tapes, and they work differently. And I have success with some, but this tape is my tape. The double-sided tape that I use on my multi-placer. I'm trying to find where the lens is. It doesn't look pretty because I layer. You know, once the tape goes dry, I just put a fresh piece of tape over it, and it gets layered, gets a little thick, and then when it gets too thick, I take all the tape off and just start fresh again. So it's not a pretty solution, but man, having used double-sided tape on my multi-placer and now glue dots in my single placer, and I can use wax quite easily, and I do have my favorite waxes. I have been a convert from wax to glue dots. But let me go ahead and kind of get a rhythm here, because I'm going to be doing these in short sessions. I'll go ahead and end the video and then start a new session and string them all along to have a decent length of video for my viewers to enjoy when they're done in painting, or to keep them company. Hopefully they're enjoying it. So let me go back to what I was saying. Glue dots are not created equal. Waxes are not created equal, and neither is tape. So, you know, over time you kind of learn, and watching other diamond painters using their glue dots successfully, I'm like, why can't I do it? What is it about me and glue dots that just don't get along? And I tried it originally and just, I just battled with it. So I went back to wax, and I kind of stayed in the wax world for years. But recently, and since starting the channel, well, I encourage viewers to try something new or try something they haven't tried, that I advocate for or suggest. I should do the same. I should try glue dots again. So, I didn't go back to the glue dots I had because they just were too frustrating for me. And the supplier where I get my tape has their own glue dots. And I said, well, their tape works for me. Let me try their glue dots to see if that's going to be a solution for me. Who is my supplier? Well, I get my tape from Scrapbooking Made Simple. If you go to scrapbookingmadesimple.com, you'll find their products. They also have a YouTube channel, a very successful one, with over 1 million subscribers. Stacy Park is the owner of Scrapbooking Made Simple and is the presenter on her YouTube videos. That is the tape that I use for my multi-placer. After trying many that are easily available on Amazon, I found her tape the most successful for me, and I've not gone back. So, Scrapbooking Made Simple sells what they refer to as Stacy tape, which is her own double-sided adhesive that is made to her specifications for card making and scrapbooking. And I use her tape in other crafting. And I decided to give it a try for diamond painting. And it was my solution. What is it about that tape that is different from other tapes? First of all, it's on par with Elizabeth Craft's tape, meaning the stickiness. It might even be more sticky than Elizabeth Craft's tape, which you can get from Amazon. Their tape rolls are also 85 feet worth of tape. And I think Elizabeth Crafts, and I could be wrong on this, this is an 85-foot roll of tape. Okay? And as you can see, or maybe you can see if I can get the angle, inside the roll it says, well, you won't be able to read it, but that's their logo inside here. Scrapbooking Made Simple. 85 feet, and I think Elizabeth Crafts is like 55 feet. So you get 30 feet more tape. And it's very affordable. And the other thing that I like about this tape over other tape is the thickness of the liner. Sometimes the liner is so thin, trying to get it off the tape, you end up taking the tape off because you can't get the liner off because it's just so thin and fiddly. This is very thick. So the tape liner comes off easily. The amount of tape on the roll and the stickiness or the tackiness of the glue itself, all of those things, for me, the stars align. And that is my go-to tape. You can get it in 1/2 inch or 3/8 of an inch. 3/8 of an inch is my preferred width. 3/8 of an inch. I do have 1/2 inch and I do use 1/2 inch. It's just a preference. The bigger the tape, the more overlap you have. 3/8 of an inch covers the groove and easily, and I don't have so much overhang to worry about. At some point during this WIP Wonder, I will go ahead and demonstrate, mostly for the new viewers of my channel who may not have seen my earlier videos and don't know what I'm talking about. So, getting back to being a convert to glue dots, well, sometimes you have to take your own medicine, right? And I encourage people to try things that are different, like using tape as a double-sided, if you're not a multi-placer, because you found it too frustrating, try double-sided tape as a solution for you. You may have to go through a couple of brands of tape if you don't immediately find one that you can work with. And I just had some bad placement, so I'm filling in my blanks here. Okay. And I went through maybe 4 or 5 different brands of tape. Tape I had. And I finally landed on this brand of tape. It's the only tape I use now. It just works on so many levels. So when I decided to give glue dots a try again, I didn't use the micro or the mini glue dots sold on Amazon. I think it has a little fish on it. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I didn't, those are the glue dots I had, and that doesn't belong there. That, did I go too far? That doesn't belong there. Kelly Renee, what are you doing? Oh, there you go. So I didn't want to go back to those, because those were the source of my frustration. So when I was ordering tape, and there is a shipping charge at Scrapbooking Made Simple if you buy less than $50 worth of product, and I think it's $8.95. So unless you're kind of in the market for tape, it may be hard to get Scrapbooking Made Simple because it's cost prohibitive if you just want to buy a roll of tape, because you have to buy the $5 roll of tape plus shipping, and it makes it very expensive just to try out. So try Elizabeth Craft's tape. I think the liner is not as thick, nor do you get as much tape, but you can get it on Amazon very readily, and it does have good stick. Okay, so try that in lieu of Scrapbooking Made Simple. If you're not in the paper arts, if that's not a craft for you, you may not have a reason to shop any of her other goods and have a $50 order where you would get free shipping. I do. So I just throw in 2 and 3 rolls of tape on those orders, and I don't have to pay shipping, and I end up restocking my supply. I have enough tape now to last me several years, so I don't need to make any more purchases for tape. Unless they have like a good sale or something, I'll just buy some tape for $5, along with whatever else that I'm buying that brings my order to $50. Sometimes a roll of tape takes my $47 order and propels it to $50 or more, and I get free shipping. So I use it for that purpose too, to reach a purchasing threshold for free shipping, since I'm going to use the tape. So I said, okay, let me try these glue dots again. I encourage other people to try new things. I need to try some new things myself. So I was making a purchase at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and I bought some tape, and I said, let me check out their glue dots. And they had glue dots in small and medium, so I bought a package. And each glue dot is perforated, so I just cut them into little squares. And what I like about them is that they're tinted. The medium-sized ones are purple, and the smaller-sized ones are yellow. They have a light tint on them, so they're easy to see. They're not clear. Okay? And those are the glue dots that I get from Scrapbooking Made Simple. I really should try... Me being lazy, I don't want to get out of this chair to go grab the packaging to show you, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to pause the video. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. This is the tape that I buy. 3/8 of an inch, 85 feet. Has that real nice thick liner that I just love. Has the right amount of tackiness. I know exactly how many times to, put the tape on my shirt to reduce that tackiness, and it works perfectly. It lasts for many, many hours when I'm multi-placing. These are the glue dots that I use. This is her brand, Simply Defined, and if I put this up here, maybe you can see that yellow tint on the mini glue dots. They're just easy to see and easy to use. And these are the medium size. This one is, maybe this is even large. This is 3mm size, and I think it's $2.99 a package. And I think these are $3.99, something like that. Scrapbooking.com. And these are the glue dots that I decided to try. Now, I did have glue dots from Amazon, and it was these. This is what I bought. And maybe I should have micro instead of mini. I don't know. What are these? These are 5mm. So I have 3mm. And these are 6mm. So this would be in between. I didn't have success with this. So I decided to try this brand, since that's where I was getting my tape from anyway. Okay. Lazy me can sit down now. And I'm going to go back to my 3s. I'm using the symbol 3 in this area. Okay, so what happened? So I bought a package. I bought a small, medium, or small, large, whatever they are, 3mm and 6mm. And I decided, okay, if they don't work, I could use that in paper arts for my die cuts and other things that I do for my art journaling. They won't go to waste, is my point. So, I made the purchase. I watched a few videos to see how to load the glue dots in the pen. And I followed what I saw on YouTube from other creators. And after some fussing, I got it loaded and started using it. I had to kind of relearn how to work with glue dots and cutting off the excess and reducing the stickiness. And it was a little bit frustrating at first because, you know, I kind of had it in my head, I'm just not a glue dot person. Despite all its benefits, it's just not something I do well. But I encourage people to try new things, and I needed to try a new thing and stick with it until I had a better result. So I used those glue dots just to give them a try. And after about a week or so, with some fussing and learning, I figured out how to make them work for me. I'm putting that symbol back and I'm grabbing the next symbol, which is going to be the number 9. And I was successful with those glue dots. I don't know what it is about the glue dots. I love the fact that they're, you know, tinted and you can see them more easily than those clear ones that you drop on your table, you drop somewhere and you can't find it unless you step on it or happen to find it. I like that feature about them. I'm doing number 9. I gotta find the symbol. Let's see here. Do I have any 9s? Oh, those are 9s. Senior moment, I had to double check my symbols with my magnifying glass, people. If you're not there yet, you young people, you might be one day, so stop your giggling. Anywho, I had success with those glue dots. Took a minute to relearn how to use glue dots and how to load my pen and what tip worked for me, because we have options on many tips, right? And I like the glue dots in these tips, these steel tips, as opposed to the brass tips. I don't know why necessarily, but I just like using the glue dots in these. So I switched over to these tips. So it was kind of, I really could multi-place this, but I'm not for some reason. So after having some success with the glue dots, after about a week or so, I got a hang of them. I just, you know, continued using them to see if I liked them. Like using the glue dots over the wax. And boy, the benefits of using glue dots over wax, the longevity is just unmatched. You know, how long these glue dots last as compared to how long wax lasts. And wax can last, you know, a decent amount of time. But I don't have to refill my glue dots as often. I refill my tip far less often with glue dots than I do with wax. And that's a huge benefit. Okay, so I just stuck with it and continued to kind of evaluate whether or not they were going to work for me. That was bad placement. Holy crap. And they did. So now, after these months of using glue dots over wax, I put my wax away. And I do have to vacuum seal it. I don't want my wax that I've paid, you know, good money for to dry out on me. So I should be doing that. I'll do that sometime this week. I have them in a baggie with as much air taken out of that baggie as my non-mechanical hands could muster. But I have a vacuum sealer to put the wax into so I can store it. I just haven't gone back, and I feel that was all my 9s. Let's see, do I have any more 9s? I don't think so. Let me move this down. And I like using my parchment paper as kind of like, it focuses my eye so I can find the symbols I'm looking for more easily. Because if my eyes have a whole canvas to peruse, I miss symbols. So again, it's nothing more than a piece of parchment paper with washi tape along the edge so I can see where my line is. Parchment paper is clear, transparent. So that's why I use the washi tape instead of on the canvas, on the plastic, where it just rolls up. I use it right on the parchment paper to give me a line of sight. And I find that I miss my symbols a whole lot less often than I do just trying to naturally find them by scanning over the area that I'm drilling. This is much easier for me. So back to my glue dot journey. So I tried those. I stuck with it. I got frustrated. I tried different things. How do I reduce the tackiness? How do I load the pen? How much pressure do I use because I'm heavy-handed? Oh, there's a 9 right there. So that the bead will stick. You know, all the things. Oh, let's see here. There's 2 9s there. All the things that we do when we're trying something new, we just have to figure out how to do the thing. And now I feel like I am a convert. I definitely feel like I am a convert to glue dots. Because, oh, I missed a 3. Dang it. Oh, that always happens. So, yeah. So, I practiced what I preached. I must have missed this whole line because there are more 3s here. Let me check for 9s before. Oh, it says more 3s. Okay. Let me finish up with my 9s and then I'll grab the 3s again. So, if you are a newbie to diamond painting and you have found multi-placing kind of frantic and you didn't do well, or you don't know how to load your multi-placer with your wax or with your glue dots or whatever you're using, try double-sided tape. Give it a try. You may rule it out, but if you happen to have some double-sided tape, take a 4-placer, cover it, and I'll show some tips and tricks in a little bit to using double-sided tape. If you're happy with what you have, don't change. Don't add frustration to this hobby. But if you're curious, give it a try. But if you're happy using your glue dots or your wax and your multi-placers, then that's where your enjoyment of the art comes from. Don't bother. I think I have on the 9s. But that's what I said about the 3s. But if you're curious, like I said, give it a try. Try to find out what the devil Kelly Renee is talking about. And see for yourself. I'm going back to 3s because I missed some. Okay, I don't need a great big load. Let me just go do this here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there's some 3s right there. Missed those first time. Okay. And I have been multi-placing for years. So I have a comfort level with it. With my wax. I used putty. I forgot to mention putty. I tried putty too. In my multi-placer, never in a single placer. And I stuck with that for maybe a year. I used Quake Hold. That's the putty that I used. But the stringiness of putty, which was always there, kind of got on my nerves. And cleaning it up off the glue on the canvases when it's stuck got on my nerves. I think I may be okay with 3s. So when I went to double-sided tape, I came not from wax but from putty. Because I started with wax, went to putty. Quake Hold specifically. I've never tried blue tack or any of the putties made by Etsy stores. Just Quake Hold. And I'm going to go with the letter N. I'm going to my kitting up station over there. That I don't believe I have a way of sharing that with you right now. I refuse to move that camera. It was hard to get it to focus in on the area that I'm working on. So that was my reason for even trying double-sided tape. My frustration with putty and the stringiness and cleaning it up off my canvas. Ugh. And more practiced putty users don't have those issues because they know exactly how much to fill and blah blah blah. And you think I would too after about a year of using putty. And I did. But I still, there has to be a better way. One day entered my brain. And I saw something about double-sided tape and I said, well, I've got plenty of that. Let me try it. And I was getting the hang of using that until I found the perfect tape for me. And never looked back. Never look back. It's just too easy to do. I have such success with it. It lasts for hours and hours. At some point, the stickiness of the tape does dull. And some of the drills will stick to the tape and others won't and they fall off. That's when you have to change your tape. Put a fresh little piece of tape. I can do it very, very quickly. I know exactly. And then once I switch off to a fresh piece of tape, I'm good to go for many hours. And I know that. I changed this tape Sunday. And I was working on this canvas. And for many hours, and I simply haven't had the need to change the tape. So, and because I get 85 feet on that roll, that one roll is going to last. And I only use a piece about, yay long. Okay, I am doing N. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, because I don't know where to put my hands. Trying to figure that out. Letter N is what I'm doing on this canvas. And did I capture them all? Let me check. Looks like I did. And I think I will go to Y now. The tray I'm using. This is a cat-proof tray. They come with lids. I rarely use the lids because I don't store my drills that way. But I like the quality of them. They're a little bit pricey. As a matter of fact, I was going to get another one of this style of tray, this loaf style. And I went to Etsy and they're on a 2-week break again. So I didn't make the purchase. And maybe they're $17, $15, $17 in this shape a piece. So yeah, they're pricey. They are not a must-have. And but again, I wanted to support a small business. I needed some trays. I heard good things about hers and gave them a try. My tape is starting to go dry. So I think I'll go a little bit longer in this little session. Oh, there we go. And I'm really... It's picking it up, but I can feel that it's going dry on me. And I'm going to need a fresh tape. And I'll do that on camera for some of you that might be curious. And then 3. But let me know what questions you might have. On anything that I've talked about. Even if you're not a taper, have you tried it? I think it was Diamond Painting Bewitched Cat that said earlier in her diamond painting journey, she tried double-sided tape. It did not work for her. And I believe she uses glue dots. I think she glue dots her single placer and her multi-placers. And I might be done with Y's. What is that? It's a stray. You can go right back in there. It looks like I'm done with Y's. So the question that I'm wondering about is, have you ever tried double-sided tape? A few of you in the comments said that you would try. You were curious about it. You were going to give it a try. I don't know that I have any follow-up on that as to whether or not you did or didn't and what your results were. Maybe you hated it. Don't know. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to continue on with this WIP Wonder. I'm going to pause the video for now and check in with work to see what's going on. And I have some things that I need to do, but I will restart a fresh video, link it up to this one, so we'll have a continuous thing going on. But I'll go ahead and end this session here, and I will see you when I come back. Okay, everyone, this is session 2 of my WIP Wonder. It's a new day, but it's the same canvas, and I am restarting with the symbol X here. Oh, yesterday I know we talked about glue dots and a few other things, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about this morning. Yesterday was a crazy day. My coworker had a sick child and needed to take the day off. Oh, I know what I need to do. I really could use some fresh tape. So I'm going to go ahead and put this tape on camera. And I'm going to go ahead and take this old tape off. Trying to do it in camera, but I'm challenged sometimes trying to find the lens. I just take a small swatch of tape. And did I get all that off? I'll get the rest of that off. And where's my light? I'm moving the camera a little bit because I'm moving the light. I'm hoping you're seeing that. You may not be. Okay. So if you were curious how you tape over, and then I cut the wings off. That's what I call them. And just cut and trim that off. Then I take the scissors themselves and go into the groove a little bit. I'm trying to do it on camera and trying to watch. It's kind of go like that. And see what I mean about this really thick liner, how easy it is to get off. Okay, so the tape is loaded. In my holder, and as you know, this is double-sided tape and it's sticky on the outside, so I use a little cornstarch. I just put it between my fingers. You can use talcum powder, which is kind of how I started with some baby powder. The cornstarch I find works better, and what it does, it takes the stickiness off the sides. And then I just use my sleeve a couple of times, because this tape from Scrapbooking Made Simple is very sticky. So I take a little bit of that stick off, and now this is ready to use. It's not sticky on the sides any longer because of the cornstarch. I've taken a little tackiness off the groove, and I move on. Little pieces of tape that I cut off, throw that out. Okay, and I'm gonna pick up. I talked to you in session 1, or the first part of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me go ahead and I don't know if it's me or my lighting. That's a bad pickup. Let me do a better pickup. Okay, let me see if you can see that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of doing this in the air, but it picks it up and place it down. Just like if you were using putty or anything else. Not the best placement, I will grant you. It's kind of hard to show and do because I do this kind of mindlessly. And I don't think about the steps, or I just pick it up and put it down. Without any muss, without any fuss. And let me see if my tray is in. Kind of. I'll try to put my tray here. Okay, that might work. Oh. Better lighting's a thing. And I wish I had some of it. That's probably what I need to invest in, some better lighting. It is a Tuesday morning. And the first session you saw was Monday morning. I have several hours before work. So I thought I'd make some coffee. And make a little bit more progress on this canvas. I am working on Dreamer Designs Barn Babies. I started this back in February. It's been on my desk since. And I have started and finished some other canvases. I was a part of some other activities in diamond painting. So, let's see. I think I have about 4 of them on here. And I didn't get as much work, or I have not made as much progress on this canvas as I would have liked. If you're curious about the pen that I'm using, and I should put that one in close up for you. Let me do that in just a minute. Kevin's Diamond Painting Pens on Etsy is where this one came from. As a matter of fact, yesterday afternoon, Monday afternoon, I went out to a site because I have a lot of custom pens. It's kind of the one thing I indulge in. That and light boxes. Because I don't diamond paint without a light pad. Or light box, whatever you want to call it. I'm just of a certain age and I need the assistance of a light pad. There are some diamond paintings that I could just do in natural light because the printing is just that clear. This is not one of them, and we'll talk about that, what I mean by that. Let me show you. Let me go ahead and get these 3 down. Okay, this is the pen. Diamond painting, Kevin's Diamond Painting Pens is the place I got this. Maybe 40, 45, something like that is what I paid. It's a great thickness for me. And I love all the colors. And they're generally one of a kind. So when I saw this, knowing that it's one of a kind, I made the purchase. This was not a good pickup on my drill, so I'm going to have to move around. And when you're multi-placing or you're learning to multi-place, you're not going to get stellar placement or stellar pickup of your drills every single time. That might kind of annoy you or turn you against multi-placing. But I assure you, after a while, it's not an issue. The more you use it, the better you place, the better you pick up. I was out on, just the other day, I was out on Kevin's Diamond Painting Pens on Etsy just to see what new designs he might have out there that I might be interested in, because I do indulge in diamond painting pens. And some of you may say, well, why don't you just get them at Amazon or Temu? It's, I understand it's an indulgence, it's kind of a luxury thing, but it's a part of the hobby that makes the hobby more enjoyable for me. I like them. They are handmade. That one's upside down. And it adds to the enjoyment of the hobby for me. Because I do like having them. I like using them. And I'll use a diamond painting pen or two for a particular project. And then when I say, okay, let me try one of my other pens, I'll put this one up and grab a different one. And enjoy using that for a diamond painting or two. So all the ones that I have don't just gather dust in my toolbox. I actually put them to use. I really do. I have returned one or two because I thought I would like it and then I didn't. So back to their makers they went. And I have asked for credit, not a refund. So that, I check their inventory, and when I find something I like, I use that credit to make that purchase, and it was a better, and that purchase had a better result, and I ended up keeping the pen. It doesn't happen very often. Like I said, I have a lot of diamond painting pens in my toolbox. And I have not returned the majority of them. The first part of this video, I think, was about 45 minutes, and I really don't know how long I'm gonna go. I don't really have that in mind. If I'm keeping your company while you're diamond painting, watch for as long as you'd like. And maybe it'll be long enough to last you the session. And if not, check my channel or other channels that you subscribe to find the a filler video, just something to listen to. And as you see, I have the I have my coffee and I have the music going. And that's my ambiance. I've asked this question in past videos. I didn't get a lot of response. I did get some. What is your ambiance when you're diamond painting? Do you have one? Or do you just sit down and say, oh, I'm going to watch TV, or I'm going to listen to a podcast or an audiobook? I usually have my scents going. I have some type of fruity tart, I believe, in my wax melt. Usually have a cup of coffee. I don't know what that is. In my system or at my side. Is that a symbol? I think that's a symbol right there. And let's see, I'm looking for that X. Let's see, did I miss any so far over here? Let me go ahead and put this down here and finish up. I'm probably not going to go that long this morning, but this will be an ongoing video. My next session, I'll just merge. Oh, that's a lot. Let me see. Do I have a stray? I do have a stray. It's about there. And I'll get the editing in. And you know what I should do? Because I am behind on so many things I wanted to do. I'm announcing it now. So if you haven't watched the video to this point, you won't be hearing this. I need to do a 500 subscriber giveaway, and I'm over 600, so I am very much behind. Why don't I pull a winner for that 500 subscriber giveaway from this video? And here, and how am I going to pick a winner from the comments in this video? Use the word ambiance in the comments, in a sentence. Talk about your diamond painting ambiance, or what is your environment when you're diamond painting? That's the question. Answer that question in the comments using the word ambiance in a sentence. And those that leave a comment using the word ambiance in a sentence will be part of the giveaway. What am I giving away? I've said this in previous videos, and I'm going to stand by what I said prior. If you're in the US, you have a choice. A $40 gift card from Etsy, or a $45, $50 diamond painting tool that I use and that I enjoy, and I'm trying to find it underneath my workstation here. And that is the pickup tool by Beadsmith. You have a choice between a $40 gift card or $45, $50. This goes up and down in price. It's about $45 for the Beadsmith, which is the vacuum tool that I use for single placing, especially with confetti. I have that tool, so you have a choice of these two things. If you're overseas, outside of the United States, the giveaway will be a $40 gift card to Etsy. And it's because the appliance or the pickup tool is electric and it may not be available in your area. I'm limiting overseas winners to the $40 gift card on Etsy. Of course, you can buy whatever you want. So, in the comments, use the word ambiance. Alexa or Google can tell you how to spell it. And there's a 3. I missed that in my first session. I need to go grab a 3. In a sentence in the comments. And those that do that will be in the drawing for the giveaway. On this video, leave the comment on this video. Word ambiance in the comments. And those that do will be part of the giveaway. $40 gift card or the $45, $50 pick it up tool from Beadsmith. I'll send it directly to you from Amazon. Those are your choices in the US. Overseas, $40 gift card to Etsy. And I will do the drawing. Today is, I believe, 20-something. Let me just check my phone to see what the date is. It's 21st of May. So I will do the drawing the first weekend in June, Saturday or Sunday. And I will do, and the winner is video to announce the winner of the drawing. It will be the first weekend in June, either Saturday or Sunday, first weekend in June. I will do the drawing. So you have between now and when this video releases, and I will release it within the next few days, the first weekend in June, to leave a comment on this video with the word ambiance. That will be my 500 subscriber giveaway. Okay, I'm done with that color. And I did not say that earlier in the first session of this WIP Wonder. I'm only saying it now. And I'll probably say it at the end. So, for those of you that made it to this point, letter R. I'm doing the letter R. I don't know if you're seeing that. I have to keep standing up to find my placement. Let's see here. Not that you care, but I'm sharing. Okay. Let's get that in here. If you're watching the video to this point, you know about the giveaway. And others who are not partaking of this WIP Wonder and not seeing or hearing this announcement won't know about it. So So you're bettering your chances. And I definitely will not be putting it in the title. Too many strange people show up for giveaways. And I'm not going to put it in the title of the video at all. You're hearing it now. And I'll mention it again at the end of this session. And likely not to mention it again. And I think these 2 sessions will make up the whole of this WIP Wonder. I may do a little bit more this afternoon. I could easily multi-place this, but am I multi-placing right now? No. Oops. I felt like single placing. And I see another symbol I missed from earlier. Oh. And that's the wrong symbol. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is kind of a little bit of a relaxing Tuesday morning. Yesterday was very, very busy. Oops. Yesterday was really, really busy. And I did not get back to doing any diamond painting after I ended my session yesterday morning. I needed to I watched a few videos, not of diamond painting, but some other subjects. And just relaxed, watching some sports and some mysteries and some true crime stuff. Not much of that, because it's too doggone depressing. I'd rather watch sci-fi, something fantasy, because reality can be so ugly. And I limit my ingestion of true crime and that sort of thing. Again, it's just reminds us of the dangers and the ugliness that we have to face in our everyday lives, and I don't need reminding of that. I truly don't. Oops. Okay, let's see. Am I ready to go to another color? I am, but there's one plus sign. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I have many Dreamer Design canvases in my stash. I like their art and the artists that they promote. I really do. Where is it? There it is. Well, I have a lot of premium canvases. We've had this discussion. I was a consumer, and still am, of diamond paintings, and in my early journey, I exclusively bought premium. There was no question. I started with budget, and I quickly found the premium market, even though the pricing was far, far higher. I indulged myself, and I stayed in that world for several years, so I have quite the collection. Diamond Art Club, Dreamer Designs. That's basically where I lived. In those 2 markets. What do I want to do? I could have done the R's up here. Let me do the R's up at the top here. But even though I have them, a lot of them in stock or in inventory in my stash, I hadn't ever completed one. I just kind of ventured towards Diamond Art Club. Is that upside down? And, you know, continue to buy from Dreamer Designs of the designs that I liked. This canvas, I kid you not, even though I've been diamond painting since 2019, and I have lots of Dreamer Designs in my stash, This is the first Dreamer Designs canvas that I have worked on. Barn Babies. So I'm discovering, even though I love their art, and I have, I don't know, 30 Dreamer Designs. Most of my stash is Diamond Art Club. I have maybe 30 Dreamer Designs. This is my first one that I've actually worked on. So I am discovering their product with this canvas and some things I have discovered. Their iconography and the symbols that they use. And most of these companies have a set of symbols that they use and reuse across their canvases, which would make sense. I am not a fan of Dreamer Designs iconography. It has been somewhat frustrating trying to see a plus sign and a symbol X using the same or very close color patterns on a canvas in the same area. When you're looking for something like this, that's the X, and then you see a plus sign in the same color wave or a very similar color wave. I have had to use my magnifying glass with this canvas more so than with any other canvas, especially a premium. They take the letter T and they make the letter T, then they turn it sideways, then they turn it sideways like that, then they turn it upside down. It's the letter T used 4 different ways. And it's just frustrating when those symbols are in very similar color waves to tell them apart. The X and the plus sign, there's other symbols that they use that are very, very close to one another in the same color wave. So more so than with any other premium canvas I've worked on to date, I've had to use that magnifying glass. And so I just keep it handy. As you can see, it's sitting right here. I can just grab it and go like this to see what that symbol actually is. Is it this one or that one? I have not been a fan of their iconography. Their glue is good. I had a couple of dry spots. As a matter of fact, up here, when I showed the full canvas, you may have noticed it, you may not have. But up in the, looking at the canvas, upper left-hand corner, I have a row of drills that I have to replace because the glue just didn't hold them. There's maybe 10 to 12 drills in that little section I have to replace. You may have noticed it when you saw the full canvas. Well, it looks like she lost some drills over there. I'm aware of them. I just haven't done it. I decided that once I finish this canvas, I will circle back and plug those values in using a glue of my own choice. I'll replace the glue and seal them in there. But that is the one thing about Dreamer Designs that I discovered working on this canvas that I am not a fan of. I wish they would just expand their inventory of symbols rather than reuse them and just flip them into different directions in the same color pattern. The printing on the canvas for the most part has been quite clear. Some of the white symbols are a little bit harder to read, but for the most part, it's been clear. So that's not an issue. The canvas itself is good quality canvas. The printing is very well done. The renderings I like. But the iconography, I will be better prepared for the next Dreamer Designs canvas that I do because I know what the pitfalls are now. And I think I got all those R's. But that was shocking to me. That was because I hadn't heard, to be honest, anyone say that about the Dreamer Design kits. And maybe it's a Kelly Renee thing. Maybe. But I'm telling you, I have problems with it. Where's my letter T? So I should show you examples. But I don't want to prolong this. Maybe I'll be prepared. Let's see. Okay, here's an upside down. Let me show you these two together. Now this does look different than this. This is a very large canvas, and because of that, my canvas, I'm not doing, it's a canvas that is portrait in orientation. I've had to do it landscape, so I've had to do it on the side. And then once I finished one side, I had to flip it. And the head was over here. And then I flipped it so the head is over there. So I could do the other side. So, you know, orienting my eye and making sure I'm drawing the right thing. It's kind of on the... It's on me. But here's another one. There's the T. And there's the T to the side. So with this, I have found that I have to be very careful when I'm working on this canvas. And I think... Now these drills should show up okay on this tray. And that's just the letter T. There are other symbols and letters that are similar. And it's just a little bit frustrating. I was surprised that I had that issue. Dreamer Designs has been in business for a while. And you would think that would be something that maybe others would have seen and said something about, and they would have done something with. But the Barn Babies canvas is one of their newer canvases. So whatever changes and updates they've made in creating their canvases, you would think would be incorporated in this one. And I'm having that issue. So maybe it's just a Kelly Renee thing. But it's a thing. It was definitely a thing and very surprising. I just didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming. Let me put it that way. And I've had to deal with it throughout the creation and the work on this particular canvas. So by now, I am fully aware of the issue, and I do take the time to make sure that I've got the right symbol being plotted down in the right areas for the most part. You would never see it, but I did have a mix-up on some of the greens, and it is what it is. I know kind of where it is, where the problems are, but an onlooker would not. And I'm okay with that. And I wonder sometimes how you guys, if I have 4 different color greens, and they're similar to one another, and I have that green on my table, and I missed a green from a different symbol that's a slightly different shade. Do you guys take the time to pull out that shade and plot that color into the canvas? Or you say, oh, the one I have out already is close enough, and you plot it in there? I've done both. I have taken the time to pull out that mist color. Let me double check my letter T's here. Am I okay? Yeah, I think I'm okay. And there have been times I'm saying, you know what? I'm not pulling out I'm not pulling out that color bead. The color I have in my hand and on my table is close enough. And I'm just going with that. I'm gonna change trays. And put that color in here. Okay. And I'm going with the symbol M. But yeah, I've done it both ways. My lazy genes kicked in. I'm like, oh, I missed the T, but M is close enough, and I'm gonna put the M there, and that'll save me having to pull out the T's again to put that very similar color in this one spot. And other times, depending upon where if I'm in a face or something where I think it's going to matter, I'll take the time to pull out the proper color. Other times, if I'm just doing background, I go lazy. And I've done it a few times in here, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not intentionally. I don't even remember where I did it. I know that I did do it, like in the grasses. But, hey, find your enjoyment of the hobby however you can. If it's so frustrating for you because you keep missing symbols, then find a way to mitigate that frustration and allow yourself to fix it however you like. And I'm nearly done with the M's. This hobby, if perfection were required, I wouldn't be in this hobby. I really wouldn't. I enjoy it because I can listen to some, oh, there's an R. R is not close to M, and M is what I have on the table. So you see what I mean? I'm going to pull out the R, and I'm going to put that, because that's a gray, and I'm working with brown. So I do take the time to do it right when it makes sense. If that were a T instead of an R, and T and M are very close in shading, I put an N there. And I'd be done with it. I really would. Because not to do so it's not worth the frustration. I'd rather do it my way and say, good enough, and be done with it. Rather than stress out. I'm still on the browns here. I think I'm doing an egg. Maybe I'm doing an egg. There's an egg basket in this picture. Do I have the picture? I did. I had it out for the longest time. Oh, for those of you that didn't see the original reveal. And I'm kind of over here. I just have this side to do. All this is done. So I'm just working up this right here, and I'm kind of down here. So all these browns, I think, is one of those eggs in the basket. Right? So, that's what I'm working on. Farm Babies by Dreamer Designs. And I know the first session was like 40 minutes, and I don't know how long we've been going, but I'm continuing to diamond paint, and at some point I will stop. I'll end the video. Wish you all well. Authentically, because I do wish you all well. And I will get ready for my work day. I'm looking at the clock. It's not even 7 a.m. Oh, I could have multi-placed all that. Yeah, so yesterday, so let me know in the comments. Do you guys basically say, the color I have on my tray is close enough, I'm going to use that? Or do you always take the time? And when I say always, I don't mean 100%. I mean like most of the time, I will switch out to the proper container that has the right color in it and plot in the actual color. Or do your lazy bones sometimes kick in and say the color I'm using is close enough to that color, I'm going to use that in that spot? I would say probably 80% of the time I'm going to use the right color. If it's in a face, it's like 100%. But if I'm just working around the canvas, I'm like, oh, I missed that medium gray. And I happen to be working with a medium gray of a different icon. And I don't think it's going to make a difference. Yeah. I'm putting the color I happen to have on the table on the canvas. Period. And I don't feel guilty about it. I don't feel any kind of way about it. I just do it. I forget about it. And I move on. Okay. Let me know what you guys do. Because we have established Kelly Renee has the lazy gene. We established that long ago. If you're new to the channel, now you know. Yes. Okay, I'm done with those twos. And I'm going to put those up. And I'm going to go. I've got a stray out here. It looks like a 3. And did I miss a 3? I thought I missed a 3 somewhere. Or did I already fill it in? Looks like I filled it in, so I'm going to put it there in a different section. Oh, that's a 9. And I missed that one. And this one must have dropped off my... Okay, let me grab the 9. You see what I mean? Let me just grab that 9 and plot it there. Good to go. Okay, put that back. This one, I don't know, I felt that one fell out. And I need 4. 4 is a darker brown. So I'm going to stay in this tray, I think. And I don't have many 4s, but I love using my parchment paper here with the washi tape on it to help me kind of find my place. And my eyes aren't wandering unguided all over my canvas. So even though I no longer use washi tape on the plastic to section, it has come in handy. And I think that's all the 4s. Let me just do a little adjusting here. And that is, I just saw another 9. Are you kidding me? It's like bunnies. Let me go grab it. I'm grabbing the proper. I just saw it. There it goes. That's done. Okay, and this is going to be... let me get my magnifying out. That's an O and the rest of those are B's. So let me put these up and I will grab the B's. And B's are a very light gray, so I won't be using this tray for my very light gray. I will be using this one. Okay. Oops. Okay. Alright. Oh, and let me, for those of you that watched the diamond painting storage videos, the first 2 videos, the music was too loud. When I edited the video, I noticed that. I tried to do something about it, but technology only goes so far. My apologies on that. I am acutely aware now of the volume level, and that should not happen again. Parts 3 and 4 should not have that issue if you are watching those videos. A handful of you pointed out the loudness of the music in the comments, and I acknowledged. Thank you for that feedback. I did already know it, but and I don't mind those types of things being pointed out at all. So thank you for that. But because of that misstep, I'm hoping that the music today is at a more comfortable, enjoyable level. And I gotta find a symbol. Let me see. Okay, so another little tip. Newbies. Sorry, I'm going to require some coffee. And as you can see, I do have a straw in my coffee cup that cuts out the slurping of it all. You're welcome. Newbies. When you're working a large canvas, like this canvas is a portrait orientation. So to hang it up, you could do that. I'm working on it like that. Or like that. Okay, but it hangs like this. When you're working against the orientation of the picture, I'm not working it like this, but I'm like this. You have to take, if you're kitting up your symbol, your sticker, and turn it in the same orientation that you're working. Okay? Don't look at the symbol this way if you're diamond painting this way. If I'm diamond painting with the canvas in this orientation, when I look at the symbol, I put the symbol in the same orientation so I have to make sure I have the right symbol. Like right now, I'm working like this. So I don't do this, I do that. Okay, because your openings, if you have similar symbols, you have to know that you're grabbing the right one. Because you could have 2 symbols like that. One of them opens to the right and one of them opens to the left. And they could be similar in color. So make sure you do that. That's just a tip when working on a large canvas or even a small canvas outside of the orientation that it is printed in. Hopefully that made sense. So I am working on Barn Babies this way. I am turning my container in the same way, in the same orientation, to make sure I am grabbing the right symbol. And I am. So if you're new to diamond painting and you haven't worked with anything large or haven't had this issue, keep it in mind, keep it in your back pocket. Because it will come into play at some point in time in your diamond painting journey. And I think that's all I had. It is. I am done with that one. And I think I have just a few of the letter O, and that's right here, and I knew exactly where it was. It is an AB. What's that say? Well, it's 808, A808, but this is an AB. And I just have a few of those in this section. So I'm going to go ahead and get those out of the way. Oops, is that upside down? And I think that's all I had, just 3. Okay, I will put that away. And I have done, you know, the majority of this canvas, and I know where I'm not having to use the legend for the most part because I know where everything is. And as you see, I haven't pulled out my next one because this symbol I haven't worked with before, and I didn't know where it is. So now I'm going to have to look at the legend to try to find, I think it's this number. Is it 21? I have to check this entire legend because on Dreamer Designs, they reuse the symbols and they turn them in different directions, as I said earlier. And I think it's 21. So let me pull 21 and then determine. That looks like it is there. Let me just make sure. It's an open triangle. There are solid triangles and open triangles. And I do believe that's the only open triangle, so this is the right color, and I only need 5 of them. So, this is what I mean about this canvas. There are similar symbols with similar background colors, and it takes a little bit longer just to ensure I've pulled the right drills. That was that. And I'm looking over the section, and the only color I have left is black. And then this section here that I pulled out just the other day is going to be completed. And then I will use my marker. I'll either do the space underneath it down here, or I'll move over to the right. But this is my 310. I'll pour that out. And okay, let me go ahead. That's good enough for me. And start plotting these in. And I don't know if I'll finish this section on camera or not. I don't think it's necessary. But I will be multi-placing my way through it for the most part. And I may finish it. Something else about this canvas is unique for me. This is the longest I've ever allowed a canvas that I started to linger. And I know that there are diamond painters out there that, you know, started a painting a year ago and then they get back to it. That generally isn't me. I usually start a canvas, finish it, and move on to the next one. But trying to expand myself and challenge myself, I had like 4 or 5 WIPs going at the same time. I'm down to 2. I am doing a paint along with Diamond Painting Bewitched Cat June 1st. And it would be great if I could get this one either completed or near completed by the time I start that one. That one will be several months. Right off the bat. It's a big canvas, and I have other WIPs and other things I want to do. One of the things that I announced in an earlier video that I have yet to do, and this is kind of airing my own shame, is I didn't start the sharing circle, the channel events, and I wanted to do that. But, life happened and things came up and I just did not get to it. So I hope to get to that by the end of the year. And I I have a list of different events that I want to do. and it just hasn't started. And some of you did show some interest in that, and I feel bad for not having seen it through. So I have got to kind of re-announce that, reschedule that. It's something I do want to do, which is why I mentioned it in the first place. And pick up 4. Oh, there's a straggler on there. Pick up 4. And pick up 2. For you newbies, just because I'm using a 6 placer doesn't mean I have to pick up 6 every time, right? I could just pick up 1. I can pick up to 6. Sometimes actually I can squeeze in a 7th. If it's goes beyond the edge of the opening. Happens every once in a while. My favorite big one is a 10 or 12 placer. I do believe I have a 16 placer, and I have used it successfully. But my go-to, really, the one I keep on my pens all the time, is a 6. But I have a lot of background. This 6 is going in the toolbox, and that 10-12 is coming out. Because I can and will make short work of those large areas. And it's likely I'm going to use that 10 or 12 placer in the section over here to my right, where the red is, where the barn is. Because it has a lot of repeats. Like 10, 12 in a row. Yeah. Let's see here. And if you're using a multi-placer, if you're a newbie, and you're using a multi-placer, and you start out with a 2 or 3, that's fine. But challenge yourself to at least get up to a 6. Oh, I put that one in the wrong spot. That's actually an X. And I'm going to do the proper thing. Grab an X. I'm probably doing it off camera. And put the X in the right space, which is what I just did. And I just have this small section here. So once I finish that, I'll wrap up this segment of the video and get ready to work. I'm hoping my co-worker's child isn't much better today. If they're not, she may be out again, which is fine, I understand. And I will cover for them. We cover for each other. We are really lucky to be working together. This is our second project in a row because we get along really, really well. And we support each other, basically without question. What do you need to do, my friend, and when do you need to do it? Okay, I got your back. Go do it. Don't worry about it. I'll get the work done for both of us. And it will be fine. And she does the same for me. Okay. I'm glad I was able to end that on a great note. That section is now completed in these 2 sessions. I do have a little adjusting to do. Okay, done. And I will end this WIP Wonder here. Thank you for joining me. And I hope some of the tips and tricks that I shared during this WIP Wonder are useful to you. Pass along anything that you've learned or you think might be helpful to someone else. Until we get together again, guys, remember to share your shine with others and allow their shine to be reflective on you, practicing tolerance and respect along the way. That way we can show each other as much kindness as we can muster to make our days, our weeks, and our months really, really the best that they can be. Because it goes a long way to show kindness to someone else. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining me. I will see you in the next video. Talk to you then. And until then, everyone, take care of yourself and take care of your neighbor. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.